What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 260, and we start today's episode off with a game against Fulham here at the Den, as we're entering March now, and we're coming towards the latter stages of the Premier League. You know, we've had the first half, we've had the first third of the second half, and now we're beginning to get into the crunch time, basically. You know, this is the period here in the last 12 games where the next 4 to 6 games really are crucial, depending on, leading up to where teams are going to be looking to finish come the end of the season. So these 4 to 6 games are really important in my opinion, and I mean they're all important obviously, but these are vital. And we take on Fulham, looking to get the win. But you know, Fulham are a side who, you know, I struggle against every now and then. You know, Fulham are a weird side for me. Every now and then I'll struggle a little bit, and you know, I'll find it hard to break them down, hard to get the goals. And yet there are some games where I just push them over like they're literally nothing. It's a real surprise. You know, they're just one of those teams. I'm sure you guys have those teams as well in career mode where you think you're going to get a win, and then it's a really tough fought draw, and then you think you're going to have a tough fought draw, and you win it comfortably. So we took on Fulham, not really knowing what to expect, to be honest, but we almost took the lead there early on, but we did take the lead here in the 30th minute. Oscar Polo round the goalkeeper with the heel-to-heel flick and a simple finish in to the unguarded net. So simple finish for Polo as you rounded Leno, I think it was the German goalkeeper, and then a simple finish to make it 1-0. So what a season this guy's having, absolutely fantastic so far. And on the stroke of half-time, a great chance for Fulham to get themselves on level terms. Our former player Dongu collects the ball, spreads it out wide to Williams, but that is a really poor finish there. It was a tight angle, yes, but he's got to do better. You're not going to get too many chances against us, has to do better than that. But in the 73rd minute, a good chance to make it 2-0 from this free kick, and we did. Glenn Robinson, a rare appearance for him. Well, not really a rare appearance, but you know, he doesn't play every week, but still, good free kick by Robinson, who does of course want to leave the club, but of course he won't get to now because this is our last season and the transfer window is already passed. But he puts in a great free kick regardless. The transfer request didn't stop him from putting in a great delivery into the area. Leao Gutierrez lost his man, was unmarked, and that was a really nice header as well. It reminded me of the header that Hernandez scored, Javier Hernandez against Stoke all those years ago for United at the Britannia Stadium. I can't remember what season that was. I'll try and leave a link to it if I can find the goal, but it was the way he sort of spanned backwards and flicked it on. It hit the inside of the near post and went in. So Gutierrez, now the vice captain, no longer the captain at Millwall, as he's had it unjustifiably taken away from him and given to Carrasco, makes it 2-0, and we're on course for a comfortable 3 points. And in the 88th minute, you see Ricky Tilson off the bench make a great challenge. Ings finds Sterling, Sterling finds Yox. It's a great chance for a breakaway. He spots the run of Glenn Robinson. We've got 2 men in the centre. He picks out Ings, who picks out Oxlade-Chamberlain, and the Ox makes it 3-0. And I thought that was a really nice goal. You know, I mean, breakaway goals on career mode, they do get scored quite easily because obviously the game is all about pace, and you know, most people when they build teams do look for a pace orientated team, and I'm no different. But even so, they're very nice when they come off. They really are. A really quick breakaway. I think there was like 4 players involved, and a really great finish by the Ox as well, who has been brilliant since coming in at the start of last season. So Millwall 3, Fulham 0, and well, I guess today was going to be the comfortable victory and not the hard-fought draw. But in the 90th minute, we almost made it 4-0. I think it was Sterling who went for the shot there, but the save was quite simple for the goalkeeper. And the game did finish Millwall 3, Fulham 0. So a very comfortable win. And again, it was one of those where I just sat there and thought, you know, coming into the game, I didn't really know what to expect. You know, if it was a draw, I would have said that was fine because Fulham can be quite hard team to face. If it's a win, then that's cool because we should have been the favourites. But I'm glad it was the latter. We got the win. I'm very, very pleased with that. And following the game, Kelvin says he's ready to play in the next one. Even though he's got a plaster next to his name, because of course he is coming back from his injury. So I put him on the bench, but we took on Charlton here at the Valley in a London derby, and you know, taking on Charlton, of course, a side I'd always want to beat, but taking on Charlton in the FA Cup here, quarter-final stage, I do believe, or possibly the round of 16, no, quarter-final, isn't it? In the quarter-final stage, we got the easiest draw out of all those teams, in my opinion, so very pleased with that, and you know, we should be able to get through the game, but even so, I did decide to pick quite a strong lineup. You know, again, I've said this before and I've said it all through the season, usually in the cup competitions I'll rest the entire squad, but this year the FA Cup really is a real key focus for me. It's not one of those competitions I'm sitting there thinking, well, if we go out, we go out, I don't really care. This year, no, it's just as important as the Premier League and the Champions League, in my opinion. So we take on Charlton. We almost took the lead early on there, but Suzo's shot went just wide the post, and in the 30th minute, well, this corner was played into the box. I failed to get the ball away with Glenn Robinson, And unfortunately for us, Aziz picks out Jennings, who on the first attempt hit the post, but at the second attempt squeezed it into the back of the net to make it Charlton 1, Millwall near here at the Valley, which must have been rocking. And yeah, I was absolutely livid to concede such a scrappy goal. Like, it wasn't just the fact that I conceded, but the manner of the goal was so poor. Defensively, I was shocking. But in the 22nd minute, a great chance to make amends as Sterling went clear 1-on-1, but somehow I put the finish wide. What a bad miss that was. And it was still 1-0, and 10 minutes later another good chance here as Butland collects his free kick and lobs the ball out towards Eskalainen. Our Swedish striker holds the play up. He's got Danny Wright in support down his left hand side. He takes on his man, beats him. He's got so much pace, right, no one's going to stop him. He backheels it to Makola, who gives it towards Eric Dier. Yes, I know I said that wrong, I don't care. He gives it to Eric Dier, who shoots, but it's a good save by the goalkeeper, and I should let it go out for a throw in, but instead I touched it behind for a goal kick. So still Charlton 1, Millwall 0, and I was not playing well in this game whatsoever. I mean, I was having the shots, but you know, when they were on target they weren't too convincing, and when they were off target, of course, they weren't going to matter. But in the 41st minute, another good chance here. Makola cuts inside with a couple of nice skill moves, finds Eskalainen, he finds Raheem Sterling, who tries to catch the goalkeeper out of the near post, but again, it's a good stop by the keeper, and it is still Charlton 1, Millwall 0, and we just couldn't seem to find a goal to put us back on level terms. And the last chance would fall in injury time here in the first half. Danny Wright goes down the left hand side, really good pace, crosses the ball in. Eskalainen hits the post with the header, and then his shot is blocked and saved, and Charlton get the ball away, so he just couldn't score in the first half. However, in the second half, 10 minutes after the restart, we do finally get the break for Eskalainen. He was looking very dangerous, gets the goal there to make it one apiece from the corner, and in the 82nd minute, Oscar Polo off the bench gets past Fox down his left hand side, crosses the ball in, and Eskalainen is there again to head it in and make it Charlton 1, Millwall 2, and that was how the game would finish. So Charlton 1, Millwall 2, we come from behind, scoring 2 headed goals in the second half, and I guess the best way of explaining that game was quantity over quality. In the second half, we had 2 attacks on goal, or 2 real attacks on goal, I should say, and we got goals from both of them. In the first half, we had loads, and we didn't score a single goal. So quantity over quality. That's the way we won that game. In the second half, we were a lot more accurate. That's how we scored the goals, and we are through to the FA Cup semi-final. So very, very pleased with that. Again, I wasn't really pleased at how, you know, I'm not going to say how narrow the scoreline is, because Charlton, despite being a championship side, are still a decent team, and we can't just expect to push them over. But even so, I was disappointed at the fact we had so many attempts, especially in the first half. We didn't make a single one pay, and of course the goal we let in was really sloppy. But regardless, we're through to the FA Cup semi-finals. That's all that matters. And the third and final game is against Borussia Dortmund here in the Champions League round of 16 at the Den in the second leg here. And after winning the first leg by 4-1, well, it looked as though the tie was already done and dusted after the game in Germany. But I did still, you know, play quite a few first team players out there. Yes, a few players got dropped. Yes, a few fringe players got to start, such as John Joe Anderson. But the fact of the matter is, I did want to make sure that we could still get ourselves the win in this game and get ourselves through and not get embarrassed. So a couple of players got dropped. Played Lopez, now our cup goalkeeper. But other than that, we still had the majority of the first team players out there. But the first chance fell there, and it was in the 63rd minute. And again, I talked about it before, we won't mention it again, but the AI, they weren't showing any attacking urgency at all, and that's why the score was still 0-0. It didn't look threatening at all, and Lewandowski had a good chance here, but Lopez denied his chip, and Anderson headed it back to our Portuguese goalkeeper, and it was still 0-0. And you couldn't really see Borussia Dortmund getting themselves anything from this game beforehand, so the fact they left it until the second half to attack didn't seem as though they were going to have any kind of game plan whatsoever. But with the game almost being closed out, we almost got a goal ourselves. A sure foul and goo, great save by Jan Oblak, and then somehow I missed the target of Ezekiel about 5 yards out, open goal, somehow put the ball over. What a bad miss that was. That's one of my worst ever. That was shocking. And it is still Millwall 0, Dortmund 0. But of course, Dortmund had to score 4 goals in this game because of the away goal ruling, or else we would be going through. We couldn't see it happening, especially not in injury time. And so as John Joe Anderson goes down the right hand side, he beats Gundogan here, ends up putting the ball through the legs of the Dortmund player with the Berber spin, offloads it to Triggs, who shoots, but it goes wide and out for a goal kick, and that's how the game would finish. So Millwall 0, Dortmund 0, a very subpar game, very, very poor, not many chances to report. However, the fact of the matter is Dortmund had to score 4 goals, we didn't need to score any. or else they'll be going out and we'll be going through, and that's what happened. So 4-1 on aggregate, we are through to the Champions League quarterfinals. I definitely feel as though, as you saw in our first game, we won. We keep on going in the league. So in the second game, we're through to the FA Cup semis, and we're now through to the Champions League quarterfinals. This treble is certainly on. But as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed. If you have enjoyed the episode, please leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.